Alright, here we go. This is a ranked 2v2 on Nesthorn between the green team in the upper left-hand corner, Polarbearz in the Steampunk Osprey, and Turkleton in the Shark Alien Neo. So he is the zippy quick Neo. That is the pilot that does not have that much damage resistance taken off, and you know, small boost in speed as well. And their opponents in the bottom right hand corner, LostAvenger in the Star Neo, and his partner, his teammate, darkblaze47, also in a Neo, in the Steampunk Neo. And that is very interesting. We really don't see double Neo very often at all. If anything, maybe double Osprey, maybe double Striker, but not really double Neo that often. But however, the thing is, with that EMP, the Neo is super powerful, and that is one of the biggest reasons to go. And we had 8 probes dropped at the same time, and now this did go to blue with the 2 Neos. Definitely were able to get the infantry in faster, and a lot of units going down, and immediately lost. Going with bombs, gonna take down a moneymaker, and who is that? Turkleton not here to stop him in time, and a lot of probes also going down at this forward outpost, at the close actually. And LostAvenger not stopping with bombs. He is able to take down. No, was Polarbearz able to save that moneymaker? No, he was not. That was killed. Now we do have a good fight for mid. A lot of units already down at the mid for blue team, and we already have LostAvenger continually doing this harass, but Turkleton taking him down after he kills the moneymaker, which is usually worth it. I don't know about in this extremely high-paced, high-level game. Right now, we do have darkblaze defending a little bit, and we do see Turkleton just taking a quick look at mid, and they obviously see that they can't really do any drops effectively to be able to take it right now. LostAvenger also bunkering creeps. Very safe thing to do, especially if you have the extra couple seconds to grab creeps and bunker them in your outposts. And right now we do have just defenses going down. Polarbearz putting down a couple units over here. He does have artillery in queue, so we will see a normal mid-fight at Nesthorn here. But at this point, we are settling into mid-game very early, actually. Artillery already going down. Defenses going down at mid already. Not really defenses already, but, you know, a lot of defenses already. A lot of AA. We do have a couple of artillery. They are going for the neutral units over here first, so they can have a nice path into there, a nice safe path into their mid. And we just have normal fire back and forth here at the middle outpost between the forward and the mid. A lot of artillery going down. We already have like 6. Wow, my count's really bad. 4 here. I really wish loadout counters worked here in replay mode. But right now we do have 4 artillery down, 4 blue team. LostAvenger doing a quick scout, getting finished off before he gets back to his outpost. And right now we do still have blue retreating all the units from the front of this outpost, which does give Turkleton a nice little shield in that outpost to do a little bit of fire. But it's not really going to get anywhere. They do want to bring a little bit of units to this area over here, which is kind of protected by their artillery already. They do have a couple rebels down, and it is getting contested by both of the blue Neos. They're getting finished off by those Seekers before he even gets a chance to start retreating. And now Polarbearz with more artillery down. I think there is 6 total now. That is 5 right there. There is a 6th one in Polarbearz cargo that is not actually fully healed yet. A little bit of a harass trying to go down in the form of Dillo, and actually Darkblaze here at the front door with the Dillo as well, forcing both blue players or green players over here, and he does abandon it, and they are still trying to take care of it, and lost with another Dillo. I don't think this is a good decision because both of the green players are still over there, and it doesn't actually take 2 players to take care of this. So I would expect, yes, Turk did go back to the mid fight. We do not have any artillery pointing at the middle area yet for blue, or from the middle area over there to the right, to the left. Well, actually, no, we do over here at the top. They are going to try to take out. They're going to try to focus down the top artillery first. Let's see. But the thing is, they do not have a Turk almost getting killed. They're very close. But they do not have an Osprey, which is the humongous difference in this fight. But because they concentrated all their artillery to fire at this top area instead of Darkblaze finishing off Turkleton there. Instead of having them at the, spread out normally, they are concentrating them all on one side. They do lose this middle outpost, though. 2 all those artillery do have a rebel here as well, doing a little bit of, causing a little bit of trouble. It will get killed by the Stills pretty quick, though. This does go back up to blue with all those infantry, but the thing is they don't have anything in the front here to tank any of the artillery damage, so all their artillery are going to be firing straight at the outpost, especially they are definitely in range. They are Archies, they were able to neutralize it before. Turkleton with a couple more rebels, Cloak dropping there, has a couple at the front, but it will be taken care of by blue team. So more coming down here though, if Turk brings a little bit more, and darkblaze doing, or actually LostAvenger doing a little bit of harass, killing that lunchbox, you know, that is just more credits there. And they will nullify the shield effect until they can rebuild it, which is not in queue yet. Who has lunchboxes? Turkleton has lunchboxes, getting finished off by LostAvenger in that retreat, and every single kill does matter. We do have that new mechanic where you can spend credits to you know, take 1 second off of your respawn time. And Lost doing more harass, gonna be able to take out another moneymaker. That bombing drop is so effective. Bombing drop meaning bombs, then dropping to finish off whatever stocky unit you're trying to kill. And LostAvenger finishing off the neutral units here, which will allow his creeps to you know, pass through there. And LostAvenger already level 6, selling off those Archies and queuing up Berthas. And at this point, blue team has a huge advantage in levels, a huge advantage in position. And right now, even though there is a really great spread of artillery up here, blue's doing a really good job keeping the bulbs lit, spamming infantry, keeping them down there, and Polarbearz just also doing bombs, but it's not really going to get too far, especially because he doesn't have that much 2-bomb here at the front. It's just 1 or 2 units here. We do have already a Bertha out on the field. LostAvenger has another in queue, but darkblaze getting finished off there, and Polarbearz is trying to cause some trouble for Lost, but now with 2 Berthas out on the field, and he is selling off another one, gonna put down more AA. They don't have any ground defense though. But so, I mean, right now, if blue or if green team, you know, massed up enough ground units, even if they were just a lot of rebels, they would be able to push in here and at the very least neutralize this outpost, if not surround it and secure it. But the problem is there is a lot of Dillos over here, and they are even dropped over at the top arm. And Turk and actually darkblaze did have to retreat it there, bringing it back. But you know, whatever you can keep alive is very, very much worth it. Right now, darkblaze. LostAvenger almost taking down Polarbearz. Polarbearz does get back in time with that booster. Osprey is very, very, you know, very, very well known for that extremely good micro healing ability. And we do have darkblaze at the front door. There was a Dillo dropped here. The lunchbox has been rebuilt though. So and right now, LostAvenger, they are doing a lot of good pressure right here on this area. So they have been able to clear the neutral, or not the neutral, but the green artillery that were placed over there. And because of that, they not necessarily killed them, but pushed them back. And right now, I don't see any artillery out on the field for green team. Polarbearz and Turkleton are still only level 4. Polarbearz is a long way from making Berthas, and they do only have Dillos, or you know. Yeah, for Polarbearz tank class, he only has Dillos. Turk is the one with the Longhorn, and right now not producing tanks, but Polarbearz with 43,000 sold off a lot of his artillery, I think, is what happened. They are deciding to go with a ground force over here. And LostAvenger dogfighting it out there with Turk and Polar. But yeah, Polarbearz sold off a lot of his stuff. I think all of his artillery were actually sold, and now queuing up a lot of Dillos. They can go with a ground push, and LostAvenger cloaking over his outpost. I'm not really 100% sure why he chose to do that. But right now, Turk doing a really good job. Making a wall. That is not really that necessary, especially with that lunchbox. Oh, and LostAvenger dropping with Dillos here. Turk forced to pick up his moneymakers, but you know, Lost gonna just drop them here, leave them here, and force Turk to take, you know, to take the time to deal with them. And Lost with bombs, not gonna really get much kill, especially with Polarbearz here, healing everything up on a really good spread. Nothing is very clumped here. There is a really good space between each thing, and so that is, you know, that's very, very effective when it comes to you know, area of effect attack. You know, going down on you. And we do see darkblaze with a quick scout, gonna get an EMP down, but I don't know. Oh, he does make it back in time. LostAvenger was there to take a little bit of body blocking that might have been necessary should Turkleton have proceeded there with that you know, try to get that kill. And we have a huge Dillo wall over here, so Turk had nowhere to drop that, and this will be taken care of by darkblaze very, very efficiently. And now, right now, I don't know how many you know, Dillos Polarbearz has been able to produce, and Polarbearz gonna get finished off here in the air, forced to abandon his boosters, and was finished on the ground by those neutral units that were sitting over. Oh no, actually I think that was just that one Dillo sitting over there. And right now Turk actually accidentally not typing in party chat. I'm not really sure what they were talking about, but right now LostAvenger and darkblaze have are doing a really good job pushing up here, and they are selling off their levelers for more generators, because they do need that power, because they do need to sustain what they are trying to support here at the mid. Lost very low on life, but landing right next to his units, cloaking, waiting out Polar and Turk there, and able to get out before he gets finished off by that double stock right there. And so right now, Turkleton and Polarbearz trying to hold off what they can here at their power station, finishing off LostAvenger as he's trying to get back to his outpost, right over that mid outpost, and doesn't get back for the heal in time. But yeah, they are kind of turtled up at that power station. They are kind of forced to with all those Berthas. They have to just keep at their power station, just so all their units don't die. We are at halftime heal, so we will be seeing, yes, darkblaze is coming with a Dillo, but getting hit in the air with that cloak, just trying to deny these halftime credits. But right now Turk was able to catch him and is going to be able to finish this off. LostAvenger coming over here on his own, but just with no units is not really going to get that job done. So at this point we do have a full heal on both teams, and we will see the credits start pouring in. Well, Polarbearz with 65,000 credits, and at this point just queuing up bombs, trying to kill what he can. A lot of Berthas down in one big clump, so that will be fairly effective if he can drop them just right there repeatedly over and over with that booster Osprey. I don't think he can double bomb quite yet at level 5. He might have to wait for another level, but we do have LostAvenger at the front door with this Longhorn, denying them of those halftime credits even more. And right now we do see them coming in at the fort. If you do see that animation, it is, oh dang it, it is over though. However, Lost and darkblaze are still holding the line fairly well, have a good spread of Berthas. I don't know how many are on the field right now. I think it looks like 3, maybe a 4th one right here. Yeah, they do have 4 Berthas firing in. They will be able to, I think they can even reach this outpost, to be honest. I know there were some tests done, and I think that Bertha's position right there would be able to attack that power station from that position. But now we do have Goliaths out on the field. LostAvenger with more in queue, and darkblaze queuing some up as well. They both have Goliaths in queue. Very, very important to go with these high tier units, those late game units. Darkblaze almost getting finished, but not quite. And LostAvenger, the same exact thing. These high level players know exactly when to retreat, so they can get away before getting killed. Obviously not every single time, but the majority of the time they really know exactly when to go. They know how fast that they can get the damage pushed on, poured onto them, and they also keep a really good eye on their health bars. And Turkleton, the exact same thing that I was just talking about, getting away before he gets killed. That was a little dangerous though. I could have sworn there he almost died. Not almost died, that he would have died. And I think there was just a little bit of misshooting from blue team that just caused him to be able to get away without getting killed. But we do have a lot of pressure going down on both outposts by blue team. Bertha's pointing in here, Bertha's pointing in here, and right now green team really has to split their attention, keep both outposts alive as much as they possibly can, and blue team is just doing this extremely well. Not necessarily textbook, but it kind of is like textbook concept. AirMech, keep your opponents at multiple, not just 2, but multiple locations. Keep their attention going everywhere, and you will be able to control the pressure on the field. Right now they are just going for this factory, and at this point I think the Berthas, the Berthas here are actually gone. They have all been moved. So if I were blue team, maybe would have kept at least one of the Berthas firing into the right side. We do have Lost with a Goliath drop here at the front door. I don't know if he's going to be able to get that in. Yes, it is hitting the fort, not actually hitting the front door, and Turk is going to be able to get this block off, but not after, not before a sufficient amount of damage was put in by Lost. And he does get that reposition. Did hit the front door for a few hits, and that Goliath finally getting finished off there. Ooh, and LostAvenger and darkblaze had to kind of retreat their Berthas a little bit, because right now Polarbearz with Berthas finally hit level 6, has a lot on the field, and at this point the Osprey with the Berthas is going to have the advantage, definitely, with being able to heal up everything. Especially if they got a really good spread, they won't have to share the fire, share the tanking of the damage, I guess, between every single one of the units, as if they were clustered up. We do have a Goliath push coming out for blue team. I'm pretty sure green sees this. Green is definitely aware of this. Turk does definitely see it now, and at this point we do have darkblaze and LostAvenger just looking at what they can do once their Goliaths get there. They are just making sure they know they have somewhere to put them, somewhere to micro them around. They know that this Goliath push is definitely going to be enough to take care of pretty much every unit over here if they are not allowed to be able to get him there. Turk probably dropped. I mean, I would assume Turk would try to drop with that EMP to slow down the progression of those Goliaths toward this outpost. But honestly, he doesn't really need to until they get into firing range of his units, and it is at this point where he should be doing that. And right now, Bertha's getting repositioned. This is going to be a lost power station. There is almost no way that almost no way that I could see that blue team can, or that green team can hold this. And Turk does get that EMP off on those Goliaths, but you know, it's just a momentary stall before they get here. And Turk does go down there too. I think those were the enemy Goliaths as well. And now being repositioned by darkblaze, all these Goliaths are everywhere here at this area next to this power station. There are just Longhorn and Dillos to defend here for green team, and there is not much left, to be honest. And a lot of Longhorn coming up. Polarbearz was able to drop some more probes here to retake this outpost. Loses it again, drops probes again, takes it again, but it's going to be the exact same thing that just happened 5 seconds ago. It will go back down. Polar was able to grab those probes before that outpost was neutralized, but just same exact thing once again. Now Polarbearz and Turkleton are forced to pull back one outpost to their fort / close area. On Nesthorn, that is where the fight will be, because the blue team has been able to hold this outpost, gain enough credits to be able to support that that Goliath army. And a lot of the Berthas have been killed on green side by that Goliath push. A lot of them were not able to be retreated by Polarbearz and Turkleton, I guess. But Polarbearz in that Osprey with those boosters definitely going to be the main micro-intensive person. Turk and Polar going with that Osprey Neo, the kind of one that's going to be zipping around doing all the random distract tactics everywhere and stuff, and the other one, that Osprey with the boosters, going to be handling all the units and all the heals. So there will be one mech focused, ideally, theoretically, there is one mech focused player and one unit focused player. And to be able to distinguish those roles is really, really good, especially if you don't have enough time to communicate, especially if you are not on the OIP. And right now we do have a fairly good actually line right here. A couple Goliaths with a couple of Berthas behind them. And I don't think that blue team has their Berthas positioned properly to really combat this the way that they really need to. And even if they do, they will be hitting those Goliaths first. darkblaze going in for that EMP. Every single EMP counts because it will half the DPS, the fire rate going down on the from those affected units, and it effectively will half the DPS going down on your units that are being attacked as well. And which is especially effective against artillery, which, if they're at all in range, will be firing 100% of the time. Right now, I mean, unless there's like, I don't know, jammers. No, jammers just mess with the accuracy. So yes, if there is an artillery darkblaze getting a little bit deep there, getting hit by a lot of those Goliaths, does get finished off, and those Seekers as well. And actually, Turkleton was killed by LostAvenger. But right now, Lost doing more bombing runs. Polarbearz is having a little bit of a hard time keeping up with the Berthas and the bombing at the same time. With that. Using that Osprey heal, he is a Mako spree, so he is going more with the micro spree. That's an interesting term that I've never thought of, and I don't know if it actually exists, but let me know if you guys have ever heard that. But yes, going with that micro spree over that high healing Osprey with that Kira / Kara pilot or Jesus. So that is, and especially with the boosters, it's extremely effective. He can just continually move everything around. And try to keep his Berthas alive, but at this point, with Lost's bombs and all those other Berthas, all those enemy Berthas firing in, it's just kind of not necessarily a matter of time, but it's really, really hard to keep up with all that DPS going down. And if you can't, then yes, at that point it will just be a matter of time, or a matter of you wanting to retreat your, before your units get destroyed. They are not getting pushed back that far, though. They are leading with Berthas, however, though, instead of Goliath, which is what you want to be doing. You do not want to be leading with your artillery. You want to be leading with a heavy hitting unit, a heavy DPS unit, like a Turtle or a Goliath or a Longhorn, even anything that you can to be able to tank that damage from that artillery coming in. And right now, we don't have anything still in front here for the green team. And right now, LostAvenger just continuing bombing. darkblaze doing the same thing, actually keeping these actually keeping probes in queue, so he can just continually keep this outpost in their control. Obviously, being fired on by Bertha's. LostAvenger getting finished off by Turk in the air, and Lost bunkering here. It really needs. I would assume that he would just try to concentrate as much as possible on the battlefield instead of trying to defend against anything potential on that close factory. LostAvenger finally coming back, and darkblaze doing a good job holding his own. Actually, it's not really that it wasn't that intensive to begin with, because just because they have the advantageous position. They have I would assume maybe a Goliath out here instead of over here, but anything to take the damage. And the thing is, right now, the outpost, I think, is the one thing that's mainly taking all the damage, and Lost and Dark not going with trying to invest their credits into a massive units, but instead Lost building consumables, building those bombs, and trying to kill as fast as he can with those bombing runs and those ferries. But I don't think it's being that effective. Polarbearz is doing a really good job keeping everything alive, picking up what needs to be picked up, healing up what needs to be healed up. And Turk doing that Neo thing, keeping everyone busy in the air, and actually getting a couple kills on LostAvenger in the meantime as well. And darkblaze trying to fight off Turkleton there. Turk following him back. darkblaze really blue team in general really needs to do some action. They have look at all the Goliaths they have sitting back here. I guess they are just kind of waiting to sort of max out on power with their Goliaths before they push out, but honestly, they can start leapfrogging, supporting them with Berthas. They, as long as they work together on that, they can kind of move out, and not necessarily move forward only, but also sideways, where they do have that lane over here in this area to move outwards as well. But right now, this is working fairly well. They are holding the line. They are keeping green at bay. They do have that one Goliath finally up here in the front, tanking all the damage instead of the outpost. There is a lunchbox on this, however, so that is effective in its own right. And we do have darkblaze. I don't know what he did just there. He might have. No, he doesn't even have bombs in his queue. I was gonna say he bombed, but regardless, he is keeping everything alive, healing up that Goliath. Probably gonna queue up more probes. At this point, we do have LostAvenger actually attacking this outpost. Does get it. Does neutralize it and take it. And Turkleton actually not able to keep this in his control. A lot of tanks going down, but a lot of them getting killed. Turkleton with that EMP, diminishing the effectiveness of those dropped defending units. And darkblaze now here to support LostAvenger. LostAvenger and darkblaze are probably going to be able to hold this. Not necessarily keep it in their control, but hold it unit-wise. And as long as they have enough units over here, they will be able to keep this outpost for their just under their control. Turkleton getting finished off by LostAvenger, or by darkblaze, and LostAvenger getting finished off as well. So now we only have Polarbearz and darkblaze over here in the fight, but darkblaze has a lot of surrounding units over here. It retakes this outpost, but Polarbearz has a lot of Goliaths over here, so it's not going to be very pretty on blue's side. To try to hold this outpost with all those Goliaths there. Polarbearz and a lot of creeps as well. Polarbearz dropping probes, and right now this is kind of lost for blue team, and I think it was in large part due to LostAvenger dying and not being able to support darkblaze in that fight. Polarbearz already had those Goliaths there, and if LostAvenger was there, they might have been able to hold that. But right now, green has been able to retake it. darkblaze trying to evacuate that Longhorn and did get it out of there in time. Does return to pick it back up, and now Polarbearz doing a quick scout. I think that might have been a bombing run. I'm not really sure if anything was attacked, but regardless, they have been able to retake this outpost. A Goliath in front to tank damage from Berthas as well. And darkblaze and LostAvenger have actually lost this outpost. They that entire time they were firing over, or they were trying to take care of that right outpost. This Bertha clump were firing into this power station, killing all the units in front. Not that many were there to begin with, but neutralizing the outpost. They have been able to retake it now, so that is kind of moot. But right now, the fight is going back to this area. LostAvenger almost just trying to push Turk out of the area with his own fire, and they still have a lot of Berthas. There are 4 firing in here for green team. One Goliath going way up here in the front. This is not within the Bertha's minimum firing range, I think, so it will not draw their fire away from the other units. darkblaze very low on life, but will be able to stay on the ground. Does not choose to cloak walk away, but gets back regardless in time to save his own life. And Polarbearz also doing the same thing, very low on life, and gets back. So at this point, we do have green team getting pushed back slightly because blue team was able to push up some Goliaths, and I would expect them actually to maybe set one or two more on attack just to push it up on that lane without having to move it themselves. And actually now green team with Polar Bears with that booster Osprey is able to move units extremely quickly around, and so was able to get those two Goliaths over there. And I think that one blue Goliath, no, the blue Goliath was retreated. And once again, darkblaze queuing in. Oh, this time, Polar Bearz queuing infantry and bombs behind that. And now darkblaze with Goliath. They just really need to wait for enough credits to push out with a humongous Goliath army. Right now we are in overtime 1. We are way past the level 4 creep stage, and that usually signifies creeps having a humongous effect on the battle. We do see a small push coming out for green team. I say small just because in comparison to the blue army here, actually the blue army is not as big as I thought it used to be, or I thought it was. And we do have a push coming out for green team. I don't know if this is going to work because they do have to deal with with this area first, and but the thing is, blue does not have that great of a tank line here. So I do think green is going to be able to retake this outpost. They do take it in their control. It probably won't stay that way unless Turk and Polar with both with probes and cubes. So they probably will. That's exactly what I was going to say. That they need to just spam infantry to keep that outpost under their control, and that's exactly what they did. There are a lot of blue units over here that will be cleared. LostAvenger. Not okay. Almost getting killed, but does get away. But all these blue Goliaths are probably going to be finished off by this green push. There are more Goliaths coming actually from the other outpost. So basically, this was kind of an all-in for green. There is nothing left defending. They have only a couple Berthas and stuff firing over there. They will probably retrieve them to focus the fight on mid once again. We are in overtime 2. 1 minute into overtime 2. And right now these Goliaths are not stopping. I don't know why they aren't stopping. I would assume that blue team would have just prepared a great line of defense here, which they are doing. There's a lot of Goliaths over here, so and more going down by darkblaze and LostAvenger with Longhorn in queue as well. So this push, if continued, will keep going. One option for green team would have been to just ferry them over here, but they are not stopping. They are continuing over here. I mean, I do think there are Berthas firing into the lane that the Goliaths are going to be coming into. So Lost getting this EMP off. I don't know. I don't think this was the right decision by green team to let these Goliaths continue and proceed on, because the long arm of Nesthorn that leads to the middle area is too much of a telegraph, too much time for the other team to prepare. Turkleton does cloak away, and LostAvenger trying to predict there that he was over there, but no, Turk did get away and is able to get back to that power station to heal up. But we do see that big massive Goliaths getting stopped by this great line of defense over here, and that really probably should have been stopped by green team at this power station, or ferried over to the other, once again ferried from here to here by green team as well. Just anything but leading them into their own death there at that defensive line would have been great. But right now, darkblaze with a Goliath on the side door. I'm pretty sure that is Goliath. He had a little bit of trouble dropping it there. Really wanted to position it properly, but getting killed in the meantime. Getting that Goliath dropped before before he gets killed. And LostAvenger microing really great, keeping that tank in the open holes there. And right now, Turk and Polar are forced to deal with whatever they have been dropped over here. They are way behind on life, so this bleed out will just completely kill them if they don't gain any ground or do any other drops as well to try to make blue's life go down faster than their own. They really need to either push out or do some fort drops at this point, because it's just way too close. There are a lot of tank drops here at the blue fort, and this bleed out is just going to really work. darkblaze firing in his own self, and I don't know what LostAvenger is doing right now, but he is bringing another tank over here. darkblaze does get finished off, but this bleed out is going to be able to eventually kill blue team. GGWP being thrown up by darkblaze, and Turkleton also throwing up the GG. Blue team, LostAvenger and darkblaze, and the GG going up by Polarbearz as well. LostAvenger and darkblaze47 do take this 2v2 ranked match on Nesthorn over Polarbearz and Turkleton, and that was just, I could have sworn that once again I could have sworn that once blue team took that forward power station, it would have been pretty much over. They had plenty of tanks to push forward, but once again, if they did that, it would have been highly telegraphed, and with Turkleton with that EMP would have been able to slow down that Goliath push. probably to the extent that Polarbearz would have been able to put down enough defense, definitely, to be able to hold that off, especially being that Osprey, keeping his units alive. So that is probably one of the largest reasons that Blue did not decide to push out there. I would have liked to see them maybe leapfrog a little bit, but you know, whatever works. They eventually lost that power station to that green push, you know, in large part due to a lot of the units that they lost beforehand, and also a large part due to the lack of repositioning their defenses over there to keep that, you know, to maintain a defender's advantage kind of position. However, they were able to take this match. And if you have any matches that are this crazy or intense, please send them in to me. Check my video description. This is RUI, and that is game. See you next time.